everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Saints going up against the Lions. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was Week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in Week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
That's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
They run again with Ware. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Stafford. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now it's Ginn. He juked him. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3". And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 22 carries, 79 yards.
As a good start to the season, they got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Ezekiel Siggy-Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country. And at BYU was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential. He's realizing it here.
Looking to throw. Knight nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jared Davis coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Throwing on 3rd and long. Knight. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And spins away. Another spin. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They run it here. Ware. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he? I
think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. From the gun on third down, Stafford. They're able to locate Wilson. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down right near the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle. And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On the run, it's Ware. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They go play action here on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. He was trying to get at that time to Ted Ginn. And it's second down. And now the Lions defensive starters.
It's hard to believe that a guy can get double-digit sacks in the NFL, and we can still describe him as raw. But that's the case for Ziggy Ansah, who went to BYU, mainly as a track and field guy, gravitated towards football, became a starter for one season, and then moved into the NFL. A lot of potential left to scratch for him. A lot more pass rush moves left to be added. But he is a scary, scary prospect.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the gun on third down, Knight. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
this team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now on 4th down, Sean Payton's going to turn it over to the field goal unit. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
This is fielded at the goal line. Able to slither by. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll run now with Ware. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second and just 1. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
A gain of 3, second down.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least 1 blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On second down, here's Stafford. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Nick Fairley forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they lug him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Looking to throw on second down. Knight. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Clock running, under a minute to go now here in a fast-moving first quarter. Throwing on first down. Knight. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up second down. To throw on second down. Knight. It goes underneath to Ingram. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Here we go now.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down of the yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Goes to Ware on the screen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And boy, he can get hurt.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And he rifles one incomplete. Spencer Ware, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now a handoff looking right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 1st and 10, Knight. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And on 2nd and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Knight, and that is incomplete.
And every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Oh, heavy Lion pressure here, and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. On 1st down, Knight. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Second down, Ingram. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on 3rd down. Knight. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Jeremy Hill now gearing up to go again as he marches back onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Looking to throw on second down. Knight trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Crater on to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Ingram again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go. Green 39.
Throwing on first down. Knight. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part. of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
To throw on second down. Knight. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22.
Here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
On 1st and 10. Knight. That's caught. It's Thomas. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Operating from the gun. Knight. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ballgame or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From the gun, Knight caught left side Hopkins. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Knight, and under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They run the counter now on 1st down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Lions are not moving the ball through the air for a 2nd straight week. The Saints have done enough on that end to disrupt the flow, and that's played into it as well. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Down to late in the first half. Under pressure here, and the pass is picked off. Lions would then turn it around for the touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Staying late in the half. The quick pass, it's complete, and it capped off the 9-play drive with a TD. The Saints down by 7. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Saints on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun. Knight. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on second down. Stafford. And a little floater there is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Fresh set of downs here. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down, Hill. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 41-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a third down.
When Nick Fairley's on his game, he is your prototypical defensive tackle who can make disruptive plays. Great hands, really good quickness.
The Lions on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Stafford. And some room to work. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So put another 3 on the board. And all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 21-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Green 39! Green 39!
Off play action. Knight. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Saints on third down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Knight. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Now it's Tate. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Oh, good move. And now running right through it. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of...
A breakaway for Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints are back within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet. And Detroit getting set to go now. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Stafford on first down. Ebron with it over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now they try the right side here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On second down now. Hill. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Nick Fairley in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
To throw on second down. Knight is going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Ingram churning. He lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Looking to throw. Knight. His throw incomplete. Kobe Flainer, the tight end, his intended target. That'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there Some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Looking to throw. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. On the NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter from Oakland. As of now, it's the Raiders who have the lead in that one. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So out now come the Lions. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On 3rd down, Stafford. They'll leave this for Ware. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Knight. And his throw here is incomplete. To throw again. Knight. He's got it to Ingram. Complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On third down, that's Ingram. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a hunting down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down. Where they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing again. Knight. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw on third down. Knight. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. On the return, it's Tate. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Going to give this time to the tailback. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, and that'll be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Stafford. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good, too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on second down, Knight. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the gun, Knight. This is caught by Ginn. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, That looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Yeah, and he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. On 1st down, Knight. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Sean Robinson able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Knight. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Knight. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's taken on the 25. A quick feed from Tate. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Here's Stafford. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he whips that one incomplete there. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A fourth quarter score from the Meadowlands. And the Packers adding to their totals there and their lead. Aaron Rodgers tearing that secondary apart. He's got a 300-yard afternoon and 4 touchdown passes. They go play action here on first down. Ebron's got it. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone in the chalk of the 20. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. From the red zone now, Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more on that one and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Stafford now to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. No gain, and it's second down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On third down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal.
Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Back to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. He's back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football. And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown? As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions looking like they're going to come away with a victory. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet. No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Eight yards to go here on second down. Now a handoff looking right. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one. Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory. So for the Lions, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.